Welcome back to Satisfactory. You know, I'm out by our little quartz crystal silica one-off factory that also gives us free points. Are we not throwing away quartz crystal as well? What kind of weird choice is that? Well, anyway, I came out here and I saw that there's this dismantle crate and it's chock full of stuff. So I'm going to throw away this iron ore. I think they did something with the dismantle crate where it goes to the nearest dismantle crate, because this doesn't look like anything that I would have dismantled out here. And I guess while I'm here, should I grab a little quartz crystal? Do I need quartz crystal for my build? No, technically no. We'll just get a little bit. But this thing is so full of stuff. I'm thinking maybe we should grab the encased beams at the very least. And then we could go over there and do a little bit of a build. Oh, I'm not allowed to put stuff in there. That's all right. We'll just put all these on the drop list. I probably should have but that's okay, because now we have all the room that we can, and then we can also grab these crystal oscillators, which are one of those key components. And we made some tweaks to the blueprint last time around. So we got to remember to update this to the rod section. Of course, now I'm curious. The iron plates do go into a lot of things. We could really go into here though and start making these. Of course, it takes basically it's almost a whole belt just to make reinforced plate. That's better as a inline situation where you make screws inline and then make the reinforced plate as a single blueprint step. Oh wait, I was supposed to tweak this blueprint. We'll just finish the section that we wanted to finish, which was the rod part. And we got to go through here again and set all these because we did make significant changes to this original blueprint. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, can this work? I'd want to get a couple clicks off just to sort of get them out of the way. Of course, I'm already observing a problem. We should probably move this one over here so we can actually get to it and connect it all. If I put it here, it's going to be in an almost impossible place to connect it. So we'll put it on this side. So we can connect it here. And then of course, the last one we put together is guaranteed to be almost impossible unless we design it with that in mind. Oh, the ladder's in there. Well, technically we have the hypertube now, so we don't necessarily need this ladder anymore. What are we running out of? Oh, wait a minute. Double plate. I want double rod. Let's change this to, you know, the right thing. Now we only need 8 of them. And I might go so far as to change the hotbar. Short on iron plate of all things. We need rods and we need copper sheets. Now I'm thinking, like, how far do I want to try to go with this build? I mean, there's no way that we have enough encased beams. Or microscopically short. That's quartz crystals and cable that we need. Well, at the very least, let's go out here and claim this dismantle crate. This all happened because I like to keep my worlds as free of dismantle crates as possible. And I found that dismantle crate with a bunch of stuff in it. I think that they, instead of making 1,000 dismantle crates, they just send everything to the closest one or something like that. There's some sort of algorithm that's keeping it from, or it's reducing the total number of dismantle crates that get created. Now I'm thinking it would be nice to pick up some quartz crystal. You know what? I'm gonna try to store as much as we can here for a second. And I'm gonna try to throw away as much as we can here for a second. Because there's stuff in here that we just are never gonna use. Like all these iron ingots. Those came about from our deconstruction of certain bugged buildings. I mean, we got 1/3 of it done. And now that our inventory is empty, let's jump over and grab some quartz crystal. Of course, whenever I'm over here, I don't have anything on me that I can actually use to build anything. We'll just do what it takes to get that dismantle crate cleaned up and call it. This is probably wrecking our power. Oh, it's right on the edge, but it's okay. You know, I wasn't planning on building this whole rod section, but it's kind of working out. Short on concrete of all things. We are totally full on encased beams. It even stacks so horribly that you can build it up. Well, I guess knowing that, we might as well go ahead and finish this build. We got that many encased beams lying around. $4,801 industrial storage container. 2 industrial storage containers. Those are the situations where I'm glad I have the inline storage. So now all that time that we spent not making encased beams, we were making steel beams and concrete, which is now ready to go. So we'll have a few minutes, maybe more than a few, of making a lot of the thing, because we've got a backlog of supply. We need rods, cable, and we should be able to get it that way. Rods, cable, and sheets. I forgot for a second where we put the cable. I'm getting distracted by mentally doing the math on the screws section of this monolith. I know at some point I put the basics down, so it's not going to be impossible. I just feel like it's going to be kind of weird, like 2 input belts for 8 output belts, just given how such a small amount of inputs will result in such a huge amount of outputs. Let me look at it now. I'm thinking about it. I can't help it. Screws, the recipe we would use is this alternate cast screws, 12.5 for 50, so it's times 4. So for every 1 input, we need 4 output belts. We need to get some height. See if we can get 1 more of these built. Then we'll jump over and grab the rest of the encased industrial beams. And then we'll be close to done with the outer build. Good thing these things exist before they're fully built. This is a really tall ladder. Okay, now it's a matter of just gonna use our height advantage here to try to, I would say glide, but I just want to say jetpack our way back over. All right, I'll take the warning. Wow. It's already full again. If I only need 2 more stacks. I kind of don't want to have to come back, but I guess I kind of have to. Actually, we could put the food in our hand and get 2 slots back that way. Yeah, I was not intending on building this right now, but Turns out it's the perfect time to at least get the outer structure completed. The interesting part is that if we, I don't know, the last fourth of this build is going to be interesting. We're going to have to pick one that allows for an internal tube where we can put all of the connections. Well, that looks right. I think the connections on this are basically the same as the other one. Just a straight 5x5. Even though technically I could tweak it a little bit. Because it's 15 iron ingots. And they're making 30. I could have saved myself some power here. And set all of these to 50% speed. But I'll just take that as a buffer for iron rods. If we ever get full on iron rods. We'll quickly be able to make more iron rods. There's a purple power slug over there. There's 2 purple power slugs. No. Definitely 1. But we're not going to get distracted. Uh-oh. This looks like it's still having problems. Why? Why is this line, and I know I'm getting distracted, I'm back on the plate section. Why is this one only outputting dribs and drabs. I guess we're only taking in dribs and drabs of iron ore. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it to believe that that's the problem. So let's connect some power. And you know what? Instead of waiting till we get to the bottom, let's just jump over here and connect it. Boy, not having that ladder is going to be a pain. I want to see a machine over here that has power. All right. Over here trying to connect the same wire to the same place twice, which is not going to be allowed. Okay. Are you trying to tell me that all of these are full? Yes. That is what you're trying to tell me. Wow. Okay. But what about the ore input? See, this is another story of why I like to have every input connect to every output. Quick wire and sheets. I suppose we can't connect everything to everything, but we can connect a few things. What we'll do is we'll use our smart splitters to make it so just a couple of these connectors play well with each other. So at least now a couple of those bars are working. And then I could do something similar here. Of course, at some point, none of this will matter. But in order to keep our plate production up right this second, it helps. Good old overflow. How do I want to build this? Oh, what a sad time to crash. I thought we were doing great. I'll be right back. Luckily, we really didn't lose anything. This is even connected. I guess technically might make sense to go ahead and upgrade this. So I could... The problem with putting all this together right now is we really don't have the ore to support it. I mean, I guess we could upgrade this. Yeah, some of these can definitely be tweaked to be included on other belts. But we don't have to worry about that right now. I think we could probably put together the inputs for this thing. Let's see. So on this side, it's all ore going in. I could make this side the downside for this, so it's not just ore going up the whole time. Have the ore go up over here, or I could just make this the ore upside. Yeah, I think I'll do that. All ore up all the time, on this side anyway. Oh, these are going to be expensive. I mean, we know we're going to need more encased beams no matter what, right? The monolith is starting to look good. I'm thinking... dealing with the screws is going to be a nightmare. We actually need steel pipe more than we need screws. At least as part of the actual build out process, we need steel pipe more than screws. I'm still upset that auto connect only works for belts. Of course, in this scenario, what would it wouldn't even know what to do. There's so many connection options. I wouldn't be able to use it anyway. Though I guess technically they could just connect to each other not using a non-infinite belt. Oh, see, now I'm back to upset again. But then again, they wouldn't know exactly which direction to connect it to, since it's not part of the... All right. I'm back to understanding again. And I'm gonna have to double check my inputs. I don't think I actually have the inputs to make this work. We've got a bunch of stored ore. Yeah, that one little hypertube entrance that was just sort of a misclick from way back when. I'm gonna have to think about what we're gonna do with this center. I don't know if I can leave it just open, though. I kind of think putting a concrete beam in there would actually make it look not as cool. So what I'm basically saying is this iron is still only supported by, it looks like 6, but it's really probably not 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's definitely 6 at some point. Over here. Oh no, okay. It's 4 miners and 2 miners. So it is actually 6. So technically, at least one of those is more than we can handle. Because we only have 5 inputs. Excuse me. So the question is, how heavy is this load actually? So there's 9 of these. So it's 30 times 9. 270. At times 2, that's 540. Though we technically know that this is only 15. So this is actually half. Right? So if I look at this and I say 30 times 9 times 1.5, one full belt of ore is enough to fully support half of this. And one full belt, I mean 5 full belts. It'll support half of that and still have iron ore left over. We need concrete. These belts would have to be really high end for this to be a reliable system. Otherwise, one section of this is not going to get ore until the other section is totally full. This isn't connected to anything, though. That's a full belt all by itself. 2 half belts. I'm thinking we definitely want to connect this last one in some way. Like, that guy's got to be part of it. Thing is that's only one. Technically, though, we only need 5 times 1.5. No, we need 2.5 full belts. That's a half a belt. All of these are going to be half a belts. So we'd want to connect 4 more, but if you connect using that, it's going to be like hit or miss as to whether or not it's actually going to do anything. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright, while I was away, I did check the time, and we're right at an hour, so we should probably call it here soon. But I do have one interesting thought. That thing filled up already? Wow. They're all being lifted over here. Can I... see if I can do myself a little bit of a favor and see where this is. Well, I guess I technically know because it's right on the edge of this. So if I can put 5 of these down, actually I want to move that, and it's full of ore. Technically, I could probably drop these to the ground to make this part a little easier. Then we'll just connect these. Wait, what? Oh, I was about to say, I know how to count to 5. I skipped one. What I want to do is kind of connect all of these to this high level, always on last Are the last two like that? No, they can't be, because there's 6 of these and there's 5 of those, so it has to be connected. Like you would expect. I wasn't expecting to need our standard build. We'll just get this half of it done and then we'll call it. Meh. I don't have enough plates either. Luckily, I know a place where I can get some plates. Oh, hey. It's not a perfectly even split, but it's pretty good. Oh, we're missing iron rods now. Just get this connected around the corner. Oh, technically I could get away with a lifted option here. Yeah, so these two get half. No, wait. These two get a third. And then the remaining get a sixth or a ninth. First one split half. They get a third of a half. They get a third of a half. Then this half comes in here. And then they get a third of it, and they get a third of it, and they get a third of it, but they only get a third of 1/3. So that's not perfect, but it allows this one line to feed everything. And then we'll figure out how to get the rest of these lines to feed these lines. Part of me says I could just do it. You know what? Let's do it in the next episode, where we're going to be here all day trying to load balance this stuff. Is a project all into its own. We'll do that. We'll call it here, and then we'll set up the rest of the inputs, the outputs, and then we'll do the vertical connections in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.